What's up? What's up? What's up, y'all? How is everybody doing? Just let me know if you guys could hear me. Can everybody hear me? Give me a thumbs up. It looks like we okay. It looks like people are starting to come in now. It's been a crazy week last week, and also crazy week this week. So we're gonna be talking about everything, even the whole situation of what's happening with Leash. Roaring Kitty is pumping. Let me just monitor for and as you guys start coming in, go ahead and hit that like button. I mean, I can't see any messages, so if you guys are saying something, or typing something, I'm not able to see it as of right now. So what I'm gonna do is just take a look on X and see if there's any traction or any movement there. For some reason, I don't even see it on X as well, which is strange. Okay, so we got some people on X. So yeah, guys, Ethereum it is pumping right now. According to Watcher Guru, $40 billion worth of Ethereum, guys, of shorts they got liquidated in the last 60 minutes. So, and this is why we seen that strong push in the 44s, 4400. Let me let me pull up the Ethereum chart for you guys so that way you guys can see where we're looking at. But things are looking good. And while we wait on the Ethereum chart, it's the alt market, guys. This is the alt market. So alt market is not performing, but you do have meme coins that are performing. And this is why I say, like, man, you have to definitely be nimble in this market. Try to get ahead of the trends before it happens. Um, and sometimes by doing that, you may be extremely early, but the reward of it can be very great. But this is what the alt market represent. You got Ethereum blasting through all time highs, or not blasting through, but approaching all time highs. Meanwhile, the alt market is just extremely flat. Let me see if I can just pull it up over here because for some reason coin market cap is tripping. All right, so this is Ethereum, and I like to look at that on the weekly. All time highs, guys. All time highs over here. Just had It looks like, of course, we got to wait to this candle, like this candle right here on the weekly. It surpassed its multi-month breakout, which was roughly around right here. The candle closed above it. So if this candle, by the end of the week closes above it, then we could probably be testing here. Or even if you remove the candles, right? Because I do love looking at charts on a line chart, because line chart, you could see it better, and also it's a better representation of how things really is. So if you look, strictly on the line chart, we have the breakout level at 46. So it's not too far away. Roar is up 45% in the last 45 hours. 24 hours. Roaring Kitty is doing extremely well. Um, and that's the thing when it comes to meme coins. Meme coins, they are outperforming altcoins. Like the market in itself, a lot of things shift, and people are still thinking that we're still in 2020, 2021 market, where you're seeing the tokens that are really having nice rally, nice run up, are the ones that is community initiative. Like the community is pushing it, the community is behind it, and ever since, and it started, that shift happened. Like that shift happened when the the Nero that they call the Cabal Nero versus Nero CTO. When Binance, a huge giant, once they picked Nero CTO, that was the turning point. Because even at that point, SPX 6900, it wasn't really as relevant as it is right now. We started hearing some buzz about it, but it was just like, man, community tokens, that's the meta. That's the easiest meta. But for average day investors to being able to rally behind, because again, the only thing it's going to require from you as the investor is you have to raid, you have to shill, you have to work for your bag. That's the only requirement for it. Right? Be a part of the community, be community members. And quite frankly, that is what has been working. And this is why you're seeing tokens like Roaring Kitty, it's outpacing Ethereum. Like if we look at, we do a comparison to, like, you compare Ethereum to Roar, and I'm just talking about just strictly on a year to date level. Maybe I should just get Roar instead than try to compare it to. I don't know what's going on with CoinMarketCap today. It is extremely laggy. It is extremely slow. All right, here we go. So we compare it to Ethereum, right? Ethereum's going to be in the orange. Like, look at just the price difference of like how it's being extremely outpaced. And of course, Ethereum market cap is extremely large. So, I mean, the fact that the market cap is large, you are going to see diminishing return um, versus a token that has a lower market cap. In the return of it, you're going to see, a lot greater. Um, and that's how it goes. And this is why, like, if you're new to investing, or if you don't have that much capital to invest, community token, because you want to benefit off of the efforts of the community by being a part of the community. So without that, you trying to go along at it, people buying these high market cap plays, XRP, like you only have like $100, $200 in XRP. Like that's an extremely high market cap play. Yes, there's a community behind it, but because the market cap is so high, the your return, because people are saying like XRP to 100, like to me it's not realistic as of right now. You know, a lot would have to happen. I'm talking about a lot of stuff would have to happen to see XRP to like $100. But the YouTubers, they love talking about it. The reason why they love talking about it is due to the fact that it is a big audience, and and it's not even a knock to them. Um, their income is based upon views. Their income is based upon people clicking, liking, and stuff like that. Whereas for me, like I don't talk about the popular meme coins because or popular tokens because I don't see myself, because I'm going at it from an investor standpoint. I don't see myself making that much money on it. And if I have to make that much, if I'm looking to make X amount, like 5 figures, 6 figures, then I would have to shell out more capital than I'm willing to do, especially in one crypto and one token. I like to diversify myself, and I like to keep um my risk reward very, very tight. That's why I like typically not go overboard on certain assets. Now there is some, if I'm winning in it, then at that point in time, yes, you definitely want to try to compound your gains. And that's one thing that I've been doing for Roaring Kitty. I just been trying to compound my gains. And look, we're up 45%. And I was buying, even though I got my average up, I was buying Roar when it was in the threes during that whale dip, when that whale started dumping his token. Like I was there just trying to scoop as much as I can. Like during this right here, I was scooping it up because I understand when it comes to Roaring Kitty, because of how we are structured. After sell offs like this, we are gonna see a rebound like how we're seeing right now. And that's something that I try to be as cautious as possible when it comes to dumps. Just trying to have some type of capital available so that way I can scoop this up. As soon as it start getting scooped up, people are gonna start buying, and it eliminates a lot of the selling pressure. Let me just pull up the chart so that way you guys can see. And I think I seen somebody in the chat as well too. They had suggested doing a trend. Definitely wouldn't be a bad idea, especially if that's what the community wants. Like this is what we've been seeing, like this little ping pong action. Let me get deck screener up. That was probably a little cleaner because I have my lines drawn on deck screener. Are those big buys coming from one person? No, big buys are coming from multiple different people um, that are scooping it up. Now, there are some whales that are coming in and also buying, but from my knowledge, for at least from what I've been seeing, it's been a it's been from different people. Who is this? Oh, well, this one is definitely coming from one particular whale. Sheesh. So I take that back. It does look like there is one whale that is buying pretty big. And they're buying small pieces at a time. Huh. That is interesting though. But uh but looking at this though, this orange line that I have right here drawn on the chart, this should have been the support area for Roaring Kitty. Like any of these sales that we saw, let me just put this down. Any of these sales that we saw like below this orange line, it was just straight FOMO. Like people got scared, they sold. People got scared, they sold. Scared, scared. And this pretty much invalidated the support area. All right. But if you're looking at just technical charts, this is where the selling, where people are technically supposed to stop selling. But anytime you have like an invalidation of the chart and people are just going past where support is actually at, then what you tend to see, especially because it's almost like yin and yang. You'll see an overreaction on this side, overreaction on this side right here. So I'm still waiting for the overreaction on the upside because it is going to end up balancing out at the end, because the people who are or who were selling right over here, some of them bought maybe the top, some of them bought over here, some of them probably got over here, and they're just constantly the one who are selling. You know, they're like, yo, I've been in this asset too long, so I want to get out. And once that happens, it is opening up like a massive run up, because now if we get some people who are selling in these areas, they're no longer going to be that resistance. You know, as we inch closer to this areas, closer to these spot, even during this last dump right here, I saw some people who were selling. They had bought in the $8 million market cap range. They bought in the $8 million market cap range, and they finally got fed up because of this dump that happened with that whale. And after that happened, they're no longer present on the chart over here, which is good for us because if they sell down over here, they're no longer over here. So as we continue to inch up, we should see minimal resistance. So hopefully that makes sense. So even to, I know we do have some sheep army people. So even to just talk about this whole leash situation, guys, it definitely wasn't on the bingo list again. Bone being delisted from exchanges wasn't on the bingo list. Did not see that happening, but it did. Okay, it is what it is. Bone getting delisted. When you understand like how exchanges work, especially with the volumes, like majority of the volume that you see on exchanges, they are fake. Exchanges will manipulate volume um, through through the bot, so it's not real actual buys and sells. So to me, it wasn't, when Bone got delisted on these exchanges, it wasn't a that's it factor for me. It was more like, okay, it is what it is. Now, this whole lease situation, it's a lot different. The reason why it's different is dealing with code, guys. It's dealing with code. So it's, it's not even, I wouldn't even say it, well, yeah, it's on a fundamental level. Like if the code is bad, if exploit is available in a code, then it makes the asset bad. No, regardless of what your thesis is, regardless of what your thesis is. Now, the team, they did put out, a statement. I'm glad that they did, about the bad code. This, they stated this was prior before they even got on to as a team. So it was by the ex developer, and I think someone tagged the ex developer. I went on his social last time he was like online or made a post was like around 2014 or 2024 or something like that. Turkish translator. Like, it's unfortunately, man, that is Google. I mean, that is YouTube. According to YouTube, they're supposed to automatically do that. So if Turkish is not popping up, then I have no idea, because they changed a lot of stuff within YouTube settings. Because I gave them authority to translate everything in all languages. So if it's not popping up in Turkish, then I don't know what's going on, whether it's my channel or if it's a YouTube thing. Because again, like whenever they're asking me like what languages, I select all languages, because more people that watch my video, the better. So it's not I don't think that I'm ignoring you when you say like Turkish translator or anything like that. It's the system, buddy. But yeah, so back to what I was saying, like with the whole leash situation, it's dealing with code and the type of. Let me pull it up so that way you guys can see it too. It's dealing with code, and it's the type of, because to me that this is an exploit. Point blank clear. Point blank period. Because anytime that you could mint tokens, anything that's inflationary, guys. People, because I even seen people talking about, oh, I'm gonna be buying the dip. If it get to like 5, get to 20. That is not a dip buying opportunity. Why is it not a dip buying opportunity? Because they could, in theory, mint infinite amount of leash. So anytime that something is getting inflated, it becomes dilutive, and anytime it becomes dilutive, your holding amount start to shrink. And not only that, I seen a report where someone showed like the dump, like after because it seemed like somebody is receiving the token. So if they're constantly just receiving tokens, and they start dumping onto the open market, guess what's going to end up happening, guys? It's going to drag down the price. That's exactly what's going to happen. It's going to drag down the price. So if they could do that infinitely, then the value of your token is going to go down. Um, I didn't know that. Somebody said, so upload halted trading for Bone token. What are the examples, the reason behind it? What do you think? So if they halted the trading of Bone because they feel like, okay, we got to take this preventative measure, uh, so that way more Bone, they might think something's going on with the Bone contract as well too. I mean, again, this is all speculation, so don't take what I just said there as like, oh my god, send me that, because that is very interesting that they did that. That is extremely, extremely. That is interesting. Like, where did you see that information at? Let's see if I can search it on X. Because the price of bone, because again, anytime it's dealing with code, and going back to the leash thing, anytime it's dealing with code, what you will see is extreme panic, because then people are going to start questioning, or like, well, what else is that could be broken? You know, that's the reality of it. And that's what people are currently talking about. Say uphold. Oh, you say you have the uphold account? Yeah, that's when did they stop it? Did they recently stop it or something that's already stopped before prior to this whole leash thing? I don't see an announcement or anything like that. Do I think the leash thing is gonna hurt our whole ecosystem? It is gonna be a blow. It is going to be a blow because as soon as I heard about it, I was like, "Yo, that is not good." The reason why it's not good is because it doesn't just affect leash. It does. It is gonna affect bone. It is gonna affect Shibarium because bad code in crypto. And again, the team stated, it was the prior developer, so it's not them. But people are not gonna look at it like that. Like perception, unfortunately, it is reality, guys. It is reality. Yeah, perception is reality. Um, so that's why, like, when I first saw it, it was like, man, it was maybe around like 11 at night. So I had to digest the information, not hurry up, made a video, a quick little video, so letting you guys know what was happening. Because at that point in time, you have to mitigate what you feel like is best for you. Um, because the bad code is still there, and nobody really knows if it's gonna happen again. Hopefully, it doesn't, and they're able to hurry up and get a V2, and that way, everything is migrated over. Um, that's the hopes because then all these exchanges that have leash, they're gonna have to do the same thing. They're gonna have to migrate to a new leash, and even during that time, some may say like, "Hey, since you're doing a new contract, you may have to pay." And if they say that, I don't think the team is going to pay for listing because again, that's one thing that they stated they're not going to pay for listing. Um, that was the whole core concept of Sheeb. So it could be, and and again, this is just coming based upon just worst case scenario. So I don't want you guys taking this as a way like, oh my god, I'm panicking, all this and that. Like you have to be calm, you have to be collective, and you have to analyze everything to being able to make a rational decision. Because if you're making decisions based upon fear and not getting all the pieces, getting all the information, and that's why it took me like an hour just before I made the video that I made after finding out about the news because it's not going to be just boom, I'm just going off the hip. But it is serious enough that action needed to be taken, you know, because if you look at, and I'm not by any form, shape, is saying this is Terra Luna. That's not what I'm saying. But if you look at Terra Luna and how the collapse happened with them, it was because tokens were being minted, guys. Like anytime there's a mint function, there's always that possibility. And with that mint function, it has the possibility of draining that liquidity. The way that prices are set of how you're going to be able to exchange your token is based upon what is the price in the liquidity pool. So if a whole bunch of leash continue to keep getting added, keep getting added, keep getting added, it's just gonna drain this price down. And when it's time for you to try to exchange your token, then there's essentially not gonna be anything left. So hopefully they could get this V2 thing done, or people could vote for the V2, getting that done ASAP. Um, because if that doesn't happen, but yeah, but really that's really my 2 cents in regards to all that. Hopefully you guys are being safe, making smart decisions. There are gonna be other people with bad intention, uh, so definitely watch out for them. There's people who are genuinely, trying to help. Then there's other people who are just gonna, because they just have it out for Shibarium, they have it out for Satoshi, loose. Like, I don't get into all that beef. Like, your personal relationship with someone does not affect how I view somebody else. That's how I've been. You know. So if you don't like them, hey, you don't like them. I'm not here to try to convince anybody to like anybody. I'm always looking for solution. What is the solution going forward? How can we fix this? Okay, this is the problem. It's great and all. Yep. Problem. Yep. What is the solution? And how do we move forward to the solution? That's the way that I think. But right now for Leash, just based upon what I'm seeing, a V2 uh looks like that is a solution. Like, how can we get to this decision faster? Because the more time, because boom, there's this token that I was invested into. It will call Surge BNB. Like, if you were early on my channel, extremely early on my channel, before I was like below like 1K sub, that was a token that I talked about on the channel. This was during the bear cycle. I talked about the token because of the technology, because how everything was set up. But that token, it had an exploit. They had this mint function as well too. So with the mint function, it ended up draining. But the thing is that I didn't do, because I saw the message from the team saying, "Hey, this is the bug. This is what's happening," and they even suggest like, "Hey, you need to swipe out of the token." I saw it, but the way that the token was set up is like, if you buy, the price goes up. If you sell, the price goes up. So I was looking at it like this, like, man, if a lot of people start selling before me, um, then by the time I get to sell, I'm just gonna be able to get a lot more. I'm gonna make a lot more profit. So I think maybe after they drop the message, not even 4 or 5 hours later, the hacker who exploited the contract ended up draining the whole contract, and I lost like 4K because I was thinking like, oh, well, maybe I could be able to profit from this. Oh, maybe it's not as bad as. And at that point in time, that was bad judgment on my end, and that was a lesson that I've learned. So when it comes to code, I am extremely serious about bad code. Like, for me, I just can't stay. So that was the whole reason for me, just like getting out of my leash. I still own my bone. That's the only thing that and a small portion of sheep. Um, but like I mentioned, it's not looking too good. I think looks like Ethereum dipped below. Roar just hit 7 million. Sheesh, this thing is running, man. And this might be the breakout that look at the volume on that as well too. 94,000 in volume. This is insane. Let's see. Are we even trending on Dex tools? We should be. Let me refresh this. Why are we? See, that's the thing. When it comes to Dex tools, I see a lot of projects. What they do the fake bots. Well, the bots with the volume bots, and they constantly do that like on a day-to-day basis, and that's how they end up trending on this. With us, everything is organic, especially when it comes to volume. I want to say now we probably just flipped the what you call them. It's crazy why we're not still on that. Let me see. CoinGecko. Roar is pumping extremely hard. Did we just flip stonks? I think we might have flipped stonks. I think we flipped stonks. Let's see. Oh, let's go. And we flipped stonks, guys. Yo. Uh-oh. Next on the list is GME on Soul. So this looks like it's a little delayed still, because still got us at a $6.8 million market cap. Um, yo, next up is GME on Soul. This is amazing, man. Like it's crazy. Like as soon as that whale exited the position, we saw this when we started seeing Roaring Kitty starting to pump. This is crazy. Currently up 70%, guys. 70% on the day. Like, why are we not popping up on here? Why are we not trending? We need to be trending on this joint. Like, Dex Tools, you need to show us some love, man. This is historic, man, because again, since we got rid of a lot of different, I mean, I'm pretty sure there's still like little stragglers here and there. Um, but next stop, because again, this right here has been acting as resistance. Next stop should be a penny, a penny for Roar. Then from a penny, testing all time highs. Um, this is why I try to tell people, like, man, you can't, like, you don't know when days like this is gonna happen on Roaring Kitty. Like it's everything's community driven. Like when whoever is selling, once they're stopped selling, like the chart can go crazy. Like the best example of this for this cycle that we could look at is SPX 6900, guys. And I tell people like Roy Kitty is just like SPX 6900 before the big move, before the rally. And what people have to understand is before SPX 6900 got this massive run up, it was community building. Look how many holders they have. 46 46,000. Look how many holders we have. Probably 1.4. So a project that only have 1,400 holders. Like, where do you think the majority of the holders are going to be coming from? Typically, they start coming in once a token passes like 20, $30 million market cap. That's when you're going to see like the exponential growth. So if you're among the 1400 right now, then you are extremely early. Extremely early. Like our holder count is more like day one of a launch. Like, and I'm just being just honest. Like that's how early you are. But since this thing was built from the ground up, by the community, it gave plenty of people time to being able to get in, build a position, constantly buy the dip, um, and doing all that, man. Like that is a strong candle. Hold on for a second. I'm just looking in the chat right now. Yeah, this is nuts. Don't like the fact that Ethereum had that retracement, but Ethereum continue to keep pumping. It's just gonna also fuel the pump for Roar at the same time. I even see Soul or Kitty on Soul or our bridgeable token. That's starting to get volume as well too. So things may get crazy today. Extremely crazy. And that's why I'm like I mentioned, like anytime there's dip opportunity, definitely just scooping it up. Uh, I'm just looking at the different one. Where is the link for the main pool for Orange Kitty? Because these pools, that's popping up for Solana, it's not that much. Let's see. 10 million next, as long as we flip 7 million. That's where we're currently at, 7.2. 7.2 million. Where is the main Solana one? Because this one is saying only five. That's not right. Let me get the okay. That's for Orca. So that's not the one. So let's see. Let's try pacing the contract instead. Okay, there it is. Oh, we're about to cross 10,000, guys. 10,000 in liquidity on Solana. That's pretty big. That is pretty big. Oh, we just did. And this is another thing too that I seen some people in the chat, or not in the chat, but in the Telegram, like building up the Solana liquidity pool. That definitely can be a focus. Um and even base as well too. But again, I know we got to do one step at a time. But those could be pretty good focus points. But yeah, but this is massive though. Look at this candle. And this is why what's the one guy who's been trying to do TA on Roar? Like every time he does any type of TA on Roar, it just get invalidated. They were like, Roar is supposed to, based upon my technical analysis, Roar's supposed to be somewhere around in the 2, even 1 million. If you look at the fib, if you look at the and I'm like, yo, that does not work, guys. Like it doesn't work on, especially on Roar, because there's so many different factors that you're not calculating into. One factor is the liquidity pool aspect, as how we're constantly adding liquidity. And because we're constantly adding liquidity uh to Roar, then it just essentially just causing the price to go up. So when you're supposed to be seeing sell pressure, you're followed by this big green candle right here with the reversal. Um, and again, this is what people don't see. But I am very surprised that we are not popping up though. Um, yeah, we're not trending. That's crazy. Um, maybe everybody, go on Dex Tools, type Roar. Let me see if I need to put put the thumbs up, do something. Do something, devs. Yo, we need to be popping up on this trend right here because we're not popping up. I see GME. Yeah, this is huge. See what else is going on Twitter about lease contract. That just talks about the rebasing. Is there a problem on Shibarium? My trans. That's talking about transaction. Which pathway? Powered by bone. Any price prediction by the end of the day, guys? So far, volume showing up at 75K. And that's the crazy part when it comes to Roar. It doesn't need much volume. So if it organically receives 300, 500, $1 million worth of volume, this thing is it's gonna go ballistic. A good example of a token that is similar to Roar is Hold. Now notice with hold, it's doing $211,000 in volume, right? Prior, let me show. Wait for the chart. It's also a CTO, currently at a $22 million market cap. This was like the same state that Roar was in. Like if like prior to this is how their token looked before they had their run up recently. This is their token. Volume, they would barely crack like 20k in volume. And as things continue to progress, as the people who wanted to get out got out of the token, community still stuck there, community still rating, shilling, showing up to X spaces. Again, it's built just like how SPX 6900 is, and they were sitting, at a $2 million market cap. They'll have the spike followed by a dump. Dumps happen to the people who are just tired of the project, got out, blah blah blah. I'm in their Telegram, so just seeing how they react. Still positive, like, hey, hold. That's their mantra. And next thing you know, once the selling pressure, because the selling pressure was only from holders. Once the people who wanted to get out got out of their token, and guess what ended up happening? End up getting this massive run up, and of course, they finally, for the first time, cracked over $1 million in volume or organically. This thing went from 2 million all the way to like a 40 or $50 million market cap just within a month or so. So that's the examples that we see in the market for CTO like projects. If the community's behind it, it's gonna do well. It's just a matter of time of when it's gonna do well. And that's why I say like so if you're in Roar, you're like in and out of Roar, like you're not gonna be able to get that massive run up because like imagine the people who sold yesterday now. They're waking up and seeing like, you know, I can imagine that they're cursing Roar like this piece of S. Yesterday it was in the $3 million market cap, and all of a sudden it's at $7.2 million market cap. Like what? Like you can't really like it's hard to time pumps on a CTO, but you just know a pump is gonna come. Like this massive run up right here, prior to this happening, when we were going down, 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 like day after day after day, and it was because of our largest whale at the time. They're the one who was selling. I mean, they sold like a gentleman. It wasn't just straight dumping on the chart. It was just inching in, inching out. And I can respect like, whales that do that. They just inch in, inch out, inch in, and they're selling based upon volume and not based upon just liquidity pool. Like what that other whale did, just straight dump. They just sold based upon liquidity and not based upon the volume. Because if a token only had like $1,000 in volume and you're selling $100,000, like it's gonna destroy the price, especially on the chart. It's gonna destroy the chart on the token. But the best thing about a CTO, it does give great buying opportunity, especially if you have whales who do that. And plus, what a lot of people don't know, and I haven't never mentioned this. Someone caught on onto a stream, so I actually let people know in the chat. Like the worst position that you could be in Roar is be a whale because there is a anti whale mechanism. You know, so as you try to sell, yeah, that part's gonna go against you. Like you're not gonna be able to get smooth sales because you're gonna get hit with price impact. So, but if you use volume, if you continue to, you know, be with the community, then you're gonna be able to naturally be able to sell. Like again, whoever designed the contract of Roar, My opinion, they did a pretty good job, especially from what I see. Now, I'm not in any shape, form a code expert or anything like that, but from what I see, like the contract is pretty solid. If you guys are just coming in, go ahead and smash that like button, guys. Got like 59 people. I'm sorry, 19 people. 7 likes. Let's get that number up. And we're still seeing more buys coming in as well too. I'm just currently in the chat right now, just trying to. Looks like some people was muted by Rose. Is the chat locked or something? What's going on? Okay. I'm just checking something real quick, guys, before. RJ just hit the chat. Oh my goodness. RJ said, "Good morning. Holy smokes, just like that, 7 million MC." That's what I'm saying. Like, you never know, man. You never know. Like, you go to sleep, you wake up, and boom, things change. Somebody said Pepe is king this cycle. Ah, again, people like to play the market cap game. I'm not a fan of the market cap game, guys. Yes, it could be the top meme this cycle. If it is, it is. But if I'm looking to get into Pepe right now at a $4.75 billion market cap, in order for me to 10x my return, I just say I'm a newbie in this space. I have $1,000 to my name, you know, looking to try to turn $1,000 into $10,000, right? Buying Pepe, it would require Pepe to get to a $40 billion market cap. The amount of capital that needs to go into the token in order for it to reach a $40 billion market cap is extremely massive. There's other plays in the market where I could put $1,000 into, and that $1,000 could turn into $100,000. Like, again, the higher the market cap that you have, the more capital that you have to put into it in order for you to get a huge return. Like, if you got Pepe in, if you got Pepe a sub let's just say a sub $500 million market cap, okay, then that would be a great game for you. But for the average people who are just coming in at a $4.75 billion market cap, it to me is not worth it, especially risk reward. Because then I could, because trying to get the same $10,000, I could find a couple of other lower market cap plays where I could invest 200-300 and just to try to get that $10,000. $40 billion market cap is nothing for Pepe. We have the highest volume versus any meme coin. Yeah, I mean, still risk reward for me. Getting into it, too much capital to expend for a Pepe, that would be a hard pass for me. Like any token that is above a really above $500 million market cap for average investors. Now, if you're well, you got hundreds of thousands of dollars, absolutely, Pepe is the way to go. It is safer for your capital, but if you're new, you have a limited amount of capital, Pepe is an avoid. Well, yeah, that is true. Just because they are lower market cap doesn't mean they will 10x. That is true. But my method, the way that I view tokens, the way that I analyze tokens, the ones that I've been investing into, a minimum of 10x. CTOs, that's the answer. CTOs, a true CTO, will at the bare minimum get you a 10x. And from all the CTOs that I brought up on the channel, from Turbo, from Mog, from Chill Guy, Moodane, like all of those are just CTOs that 10x. Turbo, 10x, at least at the minimum. But when you're looking at Pepe, 10x might just be the cap. Hey, yeah, like Turbo, CTO, community driven, minimum 10x. Chill Guy, minimum 10x. And for me, on my Chill Guy, I think I'm only up like 2x right now, a little over 2x, because I was buying it over here. Let me see what people got to say on X. All right, let's see. Take a look and see who just took some profits. Oh, this person, they're emptied out. Is this the one? This person made 33,000. I want to say this is probably the. Let me just take a look. Let's take a quick look. See what else they got. Nope. Nah, they are all out of roar. Oh, let's go. Shout out to them. Shout out to them. Okay, so yeah, they sold their roar and they end up buying bone. So let's take a look. Okay, so this person came from Shibarium. So let's see where their wallet was at on Shibarium. I think it's the Shibarium wallet right here, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, they've been selling Roar for the past 4 hours, so they finally got out. Okay, so yeah. Yeah, they've been selling Roar for like the past 4 hours, so they're I want to say they're out completely, but let's take a look. Let's see. Shibarium. Are they any other zombie wallets? I want to say they said that there are three more zombie wallets. None which is active, no active zombie wallets, but someone found like for three zombie wallets. So let's see. Do they still have Roar on Shibarium? Nope, they only have $46 worth of Roar on Shibarium, so this person is completely out. So yeah, so I would love to see that again. They've been selling like all day, so they got out. Total profits. I have to take a look. I don't think this is because if they sold 7.8 3 million Roar, that's $33,000 that they made. Um so I'll have to do like a little bit more just to see like how much they actually invested into Roar altogether. Oh, but look at this though. They just buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell, like on the chart. So, but this person completely out. I think Roy and Kitty probably gonna have more success stories. I'm talking about like success stories that's gonna hit um mainstream. I think we're gonna start to see more and more of it, more and more of that. And because we'll see more and more of that, it is gonna attract a lot of people that comes to Roy and Kitty. Because if we look back at the last cycle, if you look back at the last cycle, a lot of people why they came to Shiba Inu because that they heard, and this is one thing that people have to realize too, especially developers as well too. The main reason why people come to crypto, at least starting off, because as they get mature, as they get seasoned, as they get their feet in the ground, then they start to look at other options. But the main reason why most people come into crypto is due to the fact that they're looking to make money. And what attracted people to Sheeb is the fact that so many people were having different success stories, how they made X amount of dollars, made this, that, this, and that attracted a lot of people. So if this starts going around, and plus with the narrative too, with Roaring Kitty, the narrative Roaring Kitty, because again, a lot of people made money on GameStop because of Roaring Kitty, right? So this right here could be a very, very good feel good piece for different magazine, different you know, different news outlets because they're gonna be able to try to relate the whole Keith Gill, like, oh, Keith Gill, was able to make help a lot of people fight Wall Street, and a lot of his followers. a lot of his followers end up making money, and now they'll spin it to like, well, now his influence has breached over to crypto. There's a token called Roaring Kitty, and it's, create a millionaire. And like when things like that start to circulate, this is when you're gonna really see uh the cultness of Roaring Kitty, because then you're gonna get GameStop people, you're gonna get uh Legions, you're gonna get so much massive amount of people to come into Roaring Kitty. And now, and someone had asked in the comment section on one of my videos, they asked, do I think Roaring Kitty can get the $5? Now, the thing about getting the $5, and I think it can be doable, is the fact that burns. Now, once we get our liquidity situated, like as far as like having really good liquidity, that could be a big option that we could start talking amongst ourselves as a community members. Wanting to see if we want to use, some of the, especially the fees that we receive on these, for the transaction, especially on Solana, as well as on Shibarium. We could legit start implementing burns from it, because again, if our token, now this is what I saw when we did, let me get my calculator. When we did about, I want to say $30,000 in volume, we did roughly about, in fees of how much we generated from the Solana side. We generated, I think we just got another cell. We generated about, I want to say like $300 worth of fees, and those fees were just put right back into the liquidity. So if every 30,000, right? Let's say if we end up getting something crazy, like, because $50 million in volume on Solana, $50 million in volume at 30,000, that would be 1,666. Then you multiply that by $300, which is the fee. So this would be about $500,000 worth of fees that we could potentially generate. Now, instead of putting five, of course, our liquidity got to be solid, because it doesn't make sense to burn tokens when, your liquidity is not even up to par. But let's say our liquidity is solid on all aspect of where we need it to be at. Uh, because of that, now we're generating fees. So with $500,000, imagine now we're burning our token. So that's pretty big. $500,000. And we're just using just the, because currently right now, I want to say Bonk, that's how much they're burning their token through their pump fund, or Bonk fund. And this was like maybe 2 weeks ago what I saw. It was like somewhere close around like $500,000 that they were burning of token. So if we're able to do volume like that on a consistent basis, then at that point in time, because again, this would cause us to go, because we have to buy the token on the open market, buy it on the open market, which is causing price appreciation. Then taking those token out of circulation, that not to get back into the liquidity pool. Then at that point in time, like a $5, like, I mean, I would even say it could be a lot higher if it's done on a consistent basis. But first things first, though, we have to secure liquidity. Make sure we have good liquidity, so that way any sell pressure that we get, it's not gonna damage the price. So that's the first step. Which is better, place cashing out on Uniswap or on exchange when listing? Of course. It all depends on volume. Like, whenever you're cashing out anything, don't try to cash out with liquidity, because if you try to cash out with liquidity, you're gonna end up getting the least amount of token. What you want to do, you want to cash out during volume, like the way that the COVID Relief Foundation was able to cash out as much as they did on Shiba Inu, because again, they did, that wasn't that much liquidity, because they cashed out close to $1 billion. At the time, Shiba Inu did not have $1 billion worth of liquidity. But what they were doing is, like, on volume days, they would just cash out a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit there. Um, just capturing the volume, because again, if you start cashing out, you're just gonna essentially just wreck the chart, and it's not gonna cause more people. You got to think about, like, the psychology of people, because if you're up $1 million in token and you're trying to cash out all that $1 million right then, more likely you're only probably gonna get somewhere around like six, maybe even 5,000, like, because that's too big of a price impact that you're gonna do on the chart. So what whales do, what smart investors do, they wait for high volume days and they're just cashing out a little bit here, a little bit there, while still keeping the chart maintained. Because again, people, whenever they're coming to buy in on the token, they're looking at the chart. So if you're seeing like big red death candles on the chart, most average investors, they're not going to want to buy it. But if they see like a gradual price go up, then at that point in time, they're going to be investing into it. Matter of fact, let me just show you just how the chart of Shiba Inu, how that looked during the time where the COVID Relief Foundation, when they were cashing their tokens out. So that's why we seen like that long. I don't know if you were here before that run up on Sheeb, because before that run up, we just seen like a long period of time of just straight consolidation. Let's see here. Let me do weekly. Now, of course, if the chart does have the liquidity to be able to withstand it, then yeah, at that point in time, that wouldn't be a bad idea. But for majority of huge cash outs, or you could always look to the exchange for OTC as well too, over the counter. Like during this period of time right here, where we seen Shiba Inu just doing sideways consolidation, notice like keep seeing these wicks. Wicks. Let me zoom in on it so you can see it. Like, notice these wicks right here. Like every time, let's see if I can zoom in even more. Like, notice this wick. It try to go up wick, try to go up wick, another wick, another wick, another wick. Like, this was the COVID Relief Foundation. They were just like, they were keeping the chart at bay, and they weren't just dumping on it just to make the chart look ugly, which big shout out to them. But it just allowed everything to continue to grind, allow more people to get in. And finally, as soon as they were done selling or ran out of their sheep, then we're able to see this big, massive run up. So hopefully that makes sense. Sorry I'm late. Roar finally moving as it should. Yeah, that's crazy. Like, when you think about like what happened, what took place last week with that zombie well, had the zombie well didn't take place, Roar would probably would have been maybe at all time highs, especially the way that it was moving, especially with the movement. And as soon as that zombie whale finished selling, guys, that's what I'm saying. Like this, the way that Roaring Kitty is set up, it is set up to print millionaires. Because again, the only selling pressure that we will ever have, guys, is from holders who already bought the token. Like everything is simply just balance. Like we're seeing sales right now, and the reason we're seeing sales right now, but at some point in time, they bought these tokens. Like many projects, what you tend to see is the devs, they created a meme coin, and because they created a meme coin, they're receiving free token, which to me is just garbage. Like, why are you receiving tokens because you took 10 seconds or even 10 minutes just to create a contract for a meme coin? You know, I can see if you're creating something that's gonna change the world forever and you want to be compensated for it, but for a meme coin and for you just run like it doesn't take that. And that's why I try to stay away from projects that meme coins. Let me be specific. Meme coins. Because utility tokens, that's a different thing. But again, utility tokens, they tend to fail as well too. So it's but specifically talking about meme coins. If you're a dev and you created a meme coin, you receive free tokens. I don't want no part of it. Same guy is pumping for an hour and a half. I hope it's HTX. Man, HTX listing, that would be that would be a pretty big shot, especially in the crypto world. Kind of like with the Nero CTO, because the volume that could come behind it. Again, we're seeing what's happening right now with $75,000 worth of volume, six up 68%. What happened if we get 2 million in organic volume? What price would Roaring Kitty be at? Yeah, no, that is true. JDM said it's funny how all these projects, as soon as you see pro promotion, you automatically say, "Oh, they're giving away free tokens," because that like the YouTubers now, some of them they let you know if they're getting compensated by the team. That's what you're supposed to do. You know, according to the SEC, you're supposed to do. If you're getting compensated to talk about a token, you're supposed to disclose that. People who are not disclosing it, you know, if the SEC really start getting serious, then you could potentially see jail time. Seen it happen in the stock market where stock promoters were promoting stocks, these penny stocks. And the thing about that is 99% of those stocks that was promoted by stock promoters, they saw a pump and they saw a dump. And that was like the modern day pump and dump back then, right? So now we're seeing it in crypto with YouTubers, with influencers. They get paid to talk about these tokens. They don't disclose it. And people are buying, people are buying. The team, they receive free tokens. So as it starts to pump, you start to see dumps. It's not natural. Like you could look at a chart and look at it and be like, yo, this is not natural at all. So the influencers, they receive free tokens, it pumps, they dump. The team, they dump because some of these teams, they would actually quit their job and make it a full-time thing for them to run the project, which in my opinion is probably the dumbest thing you could do because then Mr. Rent is coming at the end of the month, Mr. Light Bill is coming in at the end of the month, or your family, they can't eat at the end of the month, then guess what they're gonna do, guys? You think they're gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna watch out for the community and I'm gonna find a different way? Absolutely not. They're gonna start dumping, dump even more. They're gonna justify it of why they're dumping. Um, and essentially it's diluting because again, those tokens that they receive was not accounted for in the liquidity pool. Like it has to be yin and yang. Like if whenever a liquidity is funding, they're funding like X amount of token equals X amount of Ethereum. That's the liquidity. That's the liquidity math. Like if 100 tokens equals 1 Ethereum, then if everybody sells the at the end of the day, it should still be 100 token equals 1 Ethereum. But what's happening is when they fund these liquidities, it'll be 100 token equals 1 Ethereum. Then the dev, they'll have 50 token on the side that's not in the liquidity. The team would have another 50. The influencers will have a 20. So now you're having like if you look at the math, like the math is it start becoming it's not balanced. Versus Roaring Kitty, from day one, 100% of the supply went into circulation. So meaning anytime someone comes in after and buy Roaring Kitty, it's accounted for. If they sell, it's accounted for. Now people are gonna buy at different points, which creates a market. Some people's gonna buy at $7 million market cap. Other people are gonna buy at 20 million, 100 million. It creates a market. Same guy is pumping for an hour. All right, that one. Hope it's HTX. I do too. Do you think we still hit the billions without, let's say, Shibarium due to all the negativity going on? Worst case, well, remember, Shibarium is just one narrative. That's the beauty about Roaring Kitty. Like, we have so many different narratives that could get us to a billion. Like, each narrative could potentially get us to a billion. The main one is GameStop because of the name. Then you have Roaring Kitty because of the name. You have the cat meta. There's one that I didn't even add on there yet, and I still need to get this list updated. You got the Keith Gill, CTO. That's a narrative by itself. Turbo, Popcat, Nero, Mog, Chill Guy, Peanut, SPX 6900. Like Shibarium and Liquidity Pool, that was fourth on the list as far as like you know you got the cat meta. Then also other narratives is like different liquidity pools on different chain. So we got Solana. We built that up. Solana could go crazy. Like there's so many catalysts for Roaring Kitty. So to answer that question, yes, we could certainly uh be at $1 billion market cap if everything just goes, crazy with with Shibarium. Hopefully it don't, but there's a lot of fires that they do need to put out as it currently stands. Keep on roaring. 100% keep on roaring. Got 19 people in the chat right now. Go ahead, smash that like button. Let's get the 19 likes. How the people on X doing? Y'all been pretty quiet. Then again, I haven't been looking at the comments there, so let me take a look and see what you guys got to say, or if you guys said anything. But yeah, I'm still surprised though that we are not trending yet, guys, on Dex tools. I don't know if we just need to pop over 100K volume, and that would do it, or what. Random, how old are you? You got them Gen X vibes sometimes. Am I right or wrong? What is Gen X? Like, I'm not Gen X is what? I think I'm a millennial. If I'm not mistaken. I think I might be a millennial. The best revenge is a great pump. No, 1000%. There's this meme that I have just like stored on my phone, and I'm so close of just dropping it, but I want to see us past this all time high. Like this meme just been burning in my phone. Somebody said, hardly anything in comparison to our buy volume. We are looking good. Sellers exhausted. 1980 or before. So that's Gen X. I guess I'm a Gen X then. I guess I'm Gen X, baby. But yeah, that's one thing for sure. The sellers right now on Roar is really getting exhausted. Because majority of the sell pressure that we probably would have had over here, they sold down here. They sold down here. Now we top a new listing with HTX as well. Get listed, and this thing's gonna go fully send. Like probably won't stop to um maybe maybe 200 million. Because remember, when it comes to exchange listings, monkey see, monkey do with these exchanges. One will list us, they'll see the price, they see us start going crazy. Then another one will list us, start going crazy, and so on and so on. And it's just gonna pretty much make a domino effect. It's gonna increase volume altogether, more visibility for Roar. And as we get more and more visibility, this is when we start talking about, oh, Roar to $2, Roar to $4. A good example of this, and the crazy thing about Peanut is it didn't take that long as far as with community building, but the way that like their top wallet holders, it wasn't that much. So let me pull up Peanut, and it was just like nonstop, just said technically 1965. Oh, then no, I'm not a I'm not a millennial. 1965 to 1980. No, that wouldn't make me a millennial. So I am, I guess I'm Gen X. Like right here, this run up. In fact, let me, because the top wallets, the people who had huge amount, they got exhausted over here. And Peanut, it's also a CTO as well too. It's structured the same way like Roar. It's structured the same way like SPX 6900. They just went about it, via the pump fund model. But the people who initially bought, they got exhausted, and once the sellers are exhausted and there's not that much left in supply, guys, like this is what you tend to see. So this thing just straight, went from a eight, a 80 million, yeah, $80 million market cap, and it blasted all the way past $2. It printed a lot of millionaires, especially if you got in during the sub $10 million market cap. And this is where we're currently at right here. Say, yep, one wallet bought every minute or so for an hour and a half. That's crazy. That is nuts. And for me, man, like I'm trying to buy as much as I can because capital is definitely limited. And every time I see like some of these big buys, I'm like, yo, these people are trying to pass me. Like, chill out, man. Like, don't pass me. Especially like on the ladder, on the wallet leaderboard. I mean, my wallet is spread, into two different wallet. I do have one that with my initial buys. Um, then I also have the one that I just been constantly just buying the dip on. I'm like, yo, y'all chill out. Let me cook first, man. Like, let me get like chill out, bruh. Now that definitely sound like a Gen X. If you guys are not following Andre, make sure y'all do. Andre Shib OG. Wealth of knowledge, guys. And that's one thing that I love doing is surrounding myself with people who been there before me, or people who's been around, same time that I've been around, because they'll look at an asset from different lenses, different light, based upon their experience. Where's Ethereum at right now? Because Ethereum, it is back above 4,400. Let's do a 2 hours and get it back to the candles. Straight upward trend, guys. Look at that fat green candle. We got another one? Did we get another one? Oh, you talking about from early? Okay. Yeah, it's telling you, man. Like all you have to do, Roaring Kitty, show up every day. And the more you're connected to the community, the more easier it's going to be for you to show up every day. Take a look and see about the NFTs if any have been minted. We're still stuck at 122. 122 NFTs minted. Gen Xers can spot our own. Yeah, we need to get this joint minted out. We get this minted out. I think it would definitely secure our place. Um, for massive pumps as well as massive floor level for Roar. Because currently right now the price to mint an NFT, and this is how things is just gonna get scarier because now the price of our NFTs is also going up as well too. So it's $330, right? Let me just $330, and like after OpenSea take their fees, I think it should be somewhere around like $300, right? So really $300 after OpenSea take their fees or whatever. That's how much the community will have access to. And right now there's 878, I want to say. Yeah, 878 NFTs left to be minted. This will give the community access to $263,000 worth of liquidity. That is huge. Because currently right now, half of that will go into buying Roaring Kitty. Well, let me back up. 200. Wait, because there's still the $10,000 NFT giveaway. So whoever mints the money NFT, they're gonna be able to get $10,000. So that gotta get taken out. So $253,000, right? That's how much the community is gonna have access to for liquidity. Half of that is going to buy Roaring Kitty on the open market. So currently, right now, the price of Roaring Kitty is at 0.207. I'll just put a 1. So this will give us access to about 17 million Roaring Kitty on the open market. Like the price impact of that alone would be crazy. That would be insane. Getting 17 because, and this is another thing, a part of the narrative as well too, is how much liquidity, I'm sorry, how much Roaring Kitty that's available on the open market. I'm not sure if you guys see what Dell Crypto is promoting. I think it's called ETF or EFT or something like that. I can't remember the name. But the point of it is they're seeing shrinkage in how much token is available for theirs as well too, and they just blast. Let me find it so that way you guys can see it. And again, this I still need to update this whole thesis thing for Roaring Kitty because there's so much going on with the thesis. Let me find Del Crypto, the token that he's been talking about. He's been talking about this crypto for a while. I don't own any of it, but let me. ETH fan token. Okay. So I keep clicking on things. Okay, let's take a look. So let's take a look at the contract real quick. Well, the chart real quick. Bone is breaking my heart right now, but at least my roar bag is compensating for it. Let's go roar. Yeah, that whole leash thing. It bleeds over. It bleeds over to the other token, and people, they're fed up, man. Like it's currently at a $45 million market cap. And look at this. Just look at the chart. That is insane, right? So let's zoom out a little bit. And this is like a 3-year-old, 4-year-old token. It's been around for a while. But look what happens once it starts pumping. You tend to like anytime you start to see a pump, volume start to pick up. And the crazy part about all of this is when volume start to pick up and you have limited amount of token, it's gonna cause price to start skipping. Instead of the token being at a penny, then it moves up to like 0.011, then 0.012. Like once the liquidity starts to get squeezed, it'll be at a penny, then a penny and a half, then 2 cents, 2 cents and a half, three, four, five, six, and it just start to skip, and people are like, "What the heck is happening?" And that's the same thing that they saw as far as like what was available. Right now, what's available for them is 1%. If you look at Roaring Kitty of how much is available for us, let's see here. Like things is gonna start like once we start inching past all-time highs, things is gonna get very, very scary real fast, real quick. And the price skip is just gonna be crazy. Right now we're at 3%, right? 3%. When we start getting inching closer to the 1%, and that's why I say like a million roar. That's million roar could legit set you up. But the caveat to that, you also have to work as well too. So it's not just like I buy roar, I sit in and forget it. If you're not active, you're just delaying the process of it going to $1. And if you're delaying the process, then you're gonna eventually get bored. And this is why people sell. They get bored, nothing's happening. Like I wake up every morning like, yo, I'm ready to get out after this because today may just be the day that we go parabolic. And surprise, surprise, went parabolic. When we were having this dump right here from that zombie well, people were excited. They were like, let me get in. And I was excited. Like, let me get in as well, too. So as things continue to progress, definitely watch the amount that's available. Because as less roar becomes available in the pool, more and more the price of roar is going to start to skyrocket. And watch out for scammers because I be seeing like people coming into the Telegram talking about OTC this, OTC that. Yeah, watch out for scammers, impersonators. Don't click onto any links because this is like whenever they see a token start to pump, and guess what? They're gonna start to. My bad, guys. I'm typing in the chat. I'm trying to multitask. Because someone in the chat just suggested for a nitro. So yeah, so with a nitro boost, hopefully that'll get us trending on here. Because again, we're still not even being trended on here. Someone said in order for us to trend, they had to put a software for like auto refresh. Is that what it takes to get trending? Oh my god. People be gaming the system, man. Like who This is their rules, their bugs. Um but to me it should be based upon percentage gainers. Because you have projects that are, because we were trending the other day when we're seeing this big nasty red dump there. We started trending. Bone will pop when she wake up. I promise it does this every time. No, 100%. 100%. Like that's one thing that and that's why I still hold on to my bone bag. Part of my thesis was like it was 100 or bust. And with the amount that I invested into, I was comfortable losing. Ideally, you don't want to lose. But again, when it comes to investing, like losing is unfortunately a part of the game. You have to plan for losses. What people tend to do, they don't plan for losses, and when they get punched in their teeth, this is when they start crying like, "Oh my god!" Like I even got people talking about like, "Oh my god, you told me Bone was gonna get to $100." I'm like, no, that's not what I said. I said Bone will get to $100 if X, Y, and Z happen. If this happen, if this happen, I think it's gonna happen. And if it doesn't happen, then again, you have to plan for that. That's why I made all the videos that I did as far as like proper planning, having a strategy. Um, but people focus on profits and don't realize each trade that you do take, it does come with some type of level of risk. And the type of asset that Bone is, it's a utility token. It's not a meme token. It's not gonna just pop out of nowhere. Like the reason why it needs to, for it to get to $100, we need projects coming onto Shibarium. We thought we were gonna see massive amount of projects, especially when they were doing the intake form. At one point, they were reporting 7,000. I'm sorry, 7,000 projects building on Shibarium. So if you just do as an investor, these are the numbers because you could only make a decision based upon the current data that you have. Like I made a video talking about like when they had reported the 7,000 projects that did the intake form as far as them coming onto Shibarium, and I even said like worst case scenario, forget the 7,000. Let's just say out of the 7,000, we get 100 projects, and that's how I even approached it. 100 project building on Shibarium, and with that 100 project, let's just say they do a liquidity pool of at least $100,000, and that's how I was approaching $100,000. $100,000. Then that would give us $10 million on chain with Shibarium. If you look at the data right now, I don't even think we have like 3 million. Let me take a look. DeFi Llama. What's going on with my typing skill? DeFi Llama Shibarium. Let's take a look and see how much is currently on chain. Look, yeah, 3.35 million. That's how much is currently on chain on Shibarium. When I did worst case scenario, I was viewing maybe a 100 project would come and build on Shibarium. Worst case scenario, and that would have gave us a TVL of 10 million. And with that 100,000, I think the price of Bone at the time was when I made the video, maybe around like maybe roughly 70 cents, 80 cents. So $10 million worth of Bone at 70 cents. That's about like 14 million Bone for liquidity. And these are Bone that's getting taken out of the circulation, getting into liquidity pool. So with all of that, what happened to the 7,000? Who knows? But to your point, as long as Shiba Inu do well, then it is essentially Bone is going to do well as well, because it's that sympathy play. But like I mentioned, there is still a few things that has to be done, like with the whole Shiba count, promoting other projects. That's a no-go. Like they're promoting other project on the official page, like YouTubers who's outside of the community, other people, they're seeing all of this, they're not understanding it. And people could say like, well, anybody could call themselves the official. No, like that's like most people don't understand decentralization. When people go to CoinMarketCap and they click Shiba Inu and they go and they click on what's the X account, they're looking at it like, okay, this is the official. So if we don't want LC or whoever the person is who is constantly promoting other project, what needs to happen? This is an easy fix. Go on here and just change the socials, man. Like go on all the different pay to change the socials, because when new people come in, it won't take them to what's the official account, because this is how people do their research. So remove this. This could easily be done with CoinMarketCap. Have the most of the data that these exchanges get, they get it from CoinMarketCap, CoinGecko. So the link in itself for the socials is going to automatically update on the exchanges as well. So it doesn't have to be this big process, but if you want control over it and want, LC to stop promoting, then start by removing this, like fix the little things. CoinMarketCap, CoinGecko. Coffee on me. Let's keep roaring. Appreciate that $4, $5 bomb, JDM. All right, looks like somebody already sent $20 for the Dex trending. Oh snap! Hold up, hold up. Cracking exchange. Let's wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Let me take a look into this. Let me take a look into this. Hold on. Hold on. Hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up. Cracking listing would be crazy as well too. All right. This is Peter, right? Peter is a part of the listing team on Kraken. Got a community member made this post about Roaring Kitty, up 75% on the day. And Franco also tagged. Shout out to Franco, man. Franco tagged Peter, said, "Let's talk roar business." This is the people who list, guys. This is the one, or the group, a part of the group that lists token on Kraken. And his response back to this was, "Good morning." Guys, if we get a Kraken listing as well, if we get a Kraken listing as well, I know a lot of you guys, you're going to be flicking off your boss. I know that's what you guys are going to do. Based upon the comments that I read, I know you're going to flick your bosses off. Because it would fully send Roaring Kitty, especially, again, with the low market cap play. Like, the best example that I could show you, because, again, I'm always looking for tokens who done what Roar did before. And Nero CTO, with its low market cap, it send. I can't type worth it up there. Forget which is which. Is it this one or is it this one? One of them's the Cabal, the other one is the. And the way that I know which is which is based upon the chart. Managed by the community with love. Let me zoom out. Because this is the, like, look at this, man. Binance, a tier 1 listing, Binance, and it just fully sent. Prior to that, it had its initial run up, then the token started going down. And next thing you know, boom, on the 16th of September, that's when you seen that listing with Binance. And this went all the way past $1 billion market cap. Look at the holder count. So, Roaring Kitty. I'm just gonna roar. Just the possibilities for this. It amazes me. It definitely amazes me. Let me take a look and see what the people on X has to say as well. My bad, guys. I'm over here doing a couple of different things in the chat as well. But yeah, things are looking pretty bullish, man. Extremely bullish for Roar. If we pop, close above this candle, above this area of resistance, then things could really start to go for Roar. All right, guys, I am about to just call it here. Definitely nice chatting and rapping with you guys. Again, I'm gonna try to do more of this if time permits. Ethereum, it's looking nice. 40, 4,400. Roaring Kitty, $7 million market cap. So if time permit, may do another one tonight. Now don't hold me to it. Do not hold me to it. But yeah, guys, that is all that I have for you today. Random Art signing